Hey, Stand Tall with Dave Brown here with Angela Plowhead. Off camera, we were talking about the Republican Party and maybe some of the diversity in it. What's your thoughts?
You know, the Republican Party is extremely diverse. It's diverse in all kinds of ways. You know, the type of people that we have in their occupations. You know, we've got people that are very highly educated. We've got people that maybe aren't as, maybe they have a high school diploma or maybe even not even a high school diploma. We have people that are farmers. We have people that work in corporate worlds. We have people that have come from all different kinds of backgrounds, poor, rich, the whole spectrum. And we have a lot of racial diversity. I know that oftentimes the Republican Party gets painted, and the media has done a really good job of talking about Republicans as being racially bigoted. But that's not been my experience at all.
Right. Yeah, I really get, the whole brown, black, and white thing that drives me nuts because I just don't care.
Yeah.
I want the best person for the job. You're obviously the best person for the job. What you're doing right now is amazing, and give one thing out there that how you want to inspire women of any race, color, whatever, to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I would say, if your values align with the values of the Republican Party, if you believe in family, if you believe in your family being able to prosper, your children having education, I think that's when you talk about social justice, the biggest social justice issue we have right now is our children having excellence in education. Right now, we are dumbing down our kids, and we need to make sure that our kids have the education they need to be able to compete on the national stage and on the world stage. And every person needs to really make sure that their kids have that in our education, and we don't here in Oregon. And so, our party is made up of so much rich experience, regardless of where people come from, regardless of their color. And we have a lot of diversity. We have Lori Chavez de Remer, who's the first Latino woman in Congress from Oregon. I'm one of the first Black officers in the Republican Party. Right now we have a Korean American who is our chair, Justin Wong. So, there is a lot of I meet people that are from every nationality and every race that are Republicans. And so we need to take a wider view at who Republicans are. And I think people would be surprised to know that it's a very wide picture.
We're going to go a little longer on this one right now. I think we'll just kind of float this one out a few more minutes if you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is such an important issue. And I think, when you look out there in the country and you see people, and you've lived in a lot more areas around the country in the South than I have, but when we're talking to that person who's living in the South or the North or the Northeast or the Southwest, I think everybody wants to be validated. Everybody wants to be important. And we have these different things that make America great, the cultural differences we all bring to the plate.
Yeah.
And we all are learning from those people all the time. It just seems like in the last 3 or 4 years, we've lost that ability to respect other people.
Absolutely. And people want to narrow us down into one aspect of who we are and forget the rest of it.
Right.
Well, I am this or I am that. But we all come with very rich experiences. And even if we come from the same household, we're going to bring different experiences out of it. And so when I look at culture, what I think of is what you as a person bring, you as Dave Brown.
Yeah.
I know 3 Dave Browns, by the way. And you're all very different. And you all have something.
I'm sure I'm the best.
And you all have something that is unique to you, that's a gift to Oregon, and that is a gift to the people around you. And so when we try to put people in these very set categories, we take out that uniqueness of who people are and what they can bring, the richness and the just the treasure of who they are and the gifts that they bring that God has endowed them with.
Yeah, I would just say, in my life, I'm a lot older than you are, but the richness of what I've gleaned through all my life of people from different backgrounds, different colors, different ages, different educational backgrounds has been amazing. I love all of that because that all keeps putting another brick in the wall for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot from people who have no money, lots of money, backgrounds vary. It's something my parents installed in me.
I think that's been the biggest destructive factor that I've seen in all of this conflict, in the partisanism, that if you're not my whatever,
Right.
I'm not going to listen to you, and we're not going to have a dialogue.
Right.
And I think that, getting back to just recognizing that everyone's going to bring something, and you have an opportunity to learn from the person sitting next to you, and valuing what they have to say, and then taking something from it. It doesn't matter who they are.
It's like old people. I mean, I'm talking like old. I mean, I'm old. They've done a lot of stuff. I mean, I remember being in a Bible study, and this guy Larry was a Korean. He's fighting jets over Korea, flying them jets over there, and then to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And all these young people from George Fox were in the same Bible study, and they just think they're just seeing an old guy, 88 years old. Mm-hmm. And I go, Larry, why don't you tell him what you did? Mm-hmm. He was one of the first people to fly to the upper levels of the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. All they saw was old guy. Mm-hmm. And I think that back with color and race, brown, black, or white, people just like, no, don't do that stuff. Because, I mean, I've got so many great experiences with so many different people. It doesn't matter if they're brown, black, or white. It doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if they've gone to college or not. It doesn't matter if they're an inner city person or a rural person. I just want to challenge everybody on this episode to respect everybody else out there and respect their opinions.
Yeah. If you only surround yourself with people that look like you, sound like you, have the same thoughts and opinions as you, you're just digging, you're just kind of digging a well.
Absolutely.
And it's not the richness that God envisioned. He created us all to be different and unique, because he says that, iron sharpens iron, right? But you can't sharpen anyone else if the only other thing around you is the same as you.
Well, I didn't ask her permission, but, when you talked about Lori, Chavez Dreamer, here she is, and she's in Congress, and she's there.
And she's a Republican.
Yeah, and whether I agree with her on every issue or not is not the point. The point. And then your title again?
I'm the vice chair of the Oregon Republican Party.
And what's Justin's title?
He is the chair of the Oregon Republican Party.
And he would be considered Asian?
He's Korean American.
Korean American. So there you go. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, it just, that's what we want to do, is stand tall, is get everybody to stand tall and look at people for what they're really, worth. I know you're way smarter than I am. And I knew that the first time I met you, but I like hanging out with smarter people, because I feel like I come out of there going, wow, I got a little bit more knowledge today. And so I really appreciate you being here on Stand Tall. And we went longer on that when we were going to and stuff, but I think it's really important that people hear, from stuff like when Judy's on, she gets a lot of women call in and say, you're a professional educator for 34 years, you're a coach for a long time, you're a mom, you went through Title IX. Judy knows that stuff. She's lived that stuff. And so a lot of women really resonate with that. I think a lot of women will really resonate with you. I have one last question. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
When you say, don't tell me I can't do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was exactly the same way. I didn't have money to go to Perry's basketball camp for $80 in 1967. Mm-hmm. So I went out in my driveway with gravel, and I played basketball for 10 hours every day while the rich boys were going there. What's that mean to you when you say, don't tell me I can't do it?
So when I think about, and I will say, my heritage, I'm a descendant of slaves. So for me, that idea of there being people that are going to try and keep you from achieving, keep you from doing what in your soul you have been created to do, harkens back to that.
Yeah.
That ownership of people over people. And there is nothing in this world that can keep a resilient soul from achieving and accomplishing whatever it is that they set their minds to.
Right.
And so for me, it is a matter of knowing just innately that God has placed gifts inside of me. He's placed gifts inside of you, and that it's not until we get all of us together and all of those gifts together that we're going to flourish and survive
Hey, Angela, this is awesome stuff. We can, go all day. We'll do it again. We'll come back down here in a couple months and we'll film more. As Stand Tall continues to grow out there, that's our goal. People like Angela Plowhead and Don Powers here today with us. It's just to really inspire everybody out there to be a strong American. To be that person. It's great to be patriotic. It's great to recognize the flag, like right here. Tunnels to towers. That whole thing. It's awesome that we do that because the flag is what that binds us all together. The Constitution gives us the nuts and bolts to do that. But I think people, it's like you, Angela, that really that is our country. This country is not dirt; it's people.
Yes.
And so, again, go to standtallwithDaveBrown.com and hopefully we'll have more information out there. We'll definitely have more information on Angela's book, which is
Empowered to Lead, a message of hope and healing.
Hey, I know you're super smart. When you get a book and you don't read a lot, just grab the book and look at the table of contents and read the first sentence of every chapter. It'll take you 15 minutes, even if you're a slow reader. And I think if you did that with Angela's book or any book that you can come across, you will find that you're going to want to read more. You really will. It's way better than TV. It's just way better. So, when you get a chance to look at that book, look at the first chapter and just read the first sentence. And then you'll get turned on to chapter 2 and then 3. Stand tall. Dave Brown. Peace.